A lot of cars coming up here and they're confused because this is like their cut through to get from like Columbus Ave to Blue Hill, or coming from what's that, Cedar Street or Center Street to Blue Hill. Oh, saying it wrong. Or they get the Blue Hill too, but it's like a cut through to get through all those cross streets. So then they met with like a slight detour. Some people stop, some people don't stop. It's a pretty dangerous intersection, by the way, too. In a few seconds, I'm going to walk down there and show you Eversource had a major problem here last night. They've been working all through the night trying to figure out, or they think they figured it out now, power problems. I'm just watching the way these people drive. Like, they do some, earlier there was people just doing weird stuff. Like, I don't know. I understand though it's kind of hot. That car's gonna try to go through there. And I think you can make it out that way if you do it the right way. I think. Because if you come down Valentine Street, it's gonna send you the other way. But it's like a walk.
Somebody bleeding out. 89-year-old female. Again, 80 Cedar, apartment B as in Bravo, second floor. Got it.
That's the last pole standing right there. Used to be 3 of them, now it's only 1 of them. See where the asphalt replaced the other 2.
Coming in for a vandalism in progress. Got deadly and filled and all parties on scene.
Alright, you got Clean Harbors and everybody out here. So let's see what they got going on. They were out here like all last night. Now all this morning, so it's pretty much all day. I was talking to somebody that knows a lot about this setup. I guess they got feeders that feeds like areas, but they're not designed to hold the amount of current that it takes, like at full capacity. So like normal load or low load, it takes fine. But when you run it at a distribution line at full capacity, it causes a whole different thing. So I guess a transformer or something must have blew over here. Last year they had to pull a couple of new cables through the ground. And I guess the city's aware of this. Allegedly, somebody told the city of Boston, like, building all these buildings without upgrading the grid is going to cause you problems, but the city just does it anyway. So it's hard for the power company to maintain it because, it's a lot of work, a lot of money as well. That's what you got right there. Right now they run on generator power. All last night, this was all pitch black. I don't know if you was out here last night. Traffic lights weren't working. Nobody had power on the street. City lights weren't working. Nothing was working. And this wasn't like full load capacity. It's just, I guess, a combination of the heat and large amperage at the same time, caused it. Clean Harbors got to come out because they don't want no contamination. Like, they don't want that to get in the Charles River if it does. or get anywhere. It should be contained. So they do the best they can to contain it. If not, then it could be a bigger problem.
Are you videoing this?
Yeah.
You don't have to.
I know I don't have
Likes to be on camera.
Nobody likes to be on camera?
No.
They gotta stay in their house then if that's the case.
Yeah.
Cameras are everywhere. There's ring doorbells, there's dash cams, there's helmet cams, there's surveillance cams, there's covert surveillance cams.
Oh, I get it.
There's so much stuff out there in public now. It's almost impossible to avoid being on camera. I mean, I get video of me on camera and not me even knowing I'm on camera. But I mean, how do you can't? I mean, unless you. Well, I'm not going to say that, but there are ways. But that means you got a lot of resources. And the thing is too, like people need to be informed about what goes on in their community. So that's like saying report one thing but don't report another. They probably gotta back out the hole there. Like I said, right now, everything on this block right here is all being ran off of generator power. And those of y'all that live on the street, that some of y'all, like I know a few people live on the street, they were in darkness for several hours. I don't know, at least, at minimum 8 hours. It could have been more than 8 hours, but they were in darkness for a while. And this is not the only street. There was many other streets like this. Cedar Street, I believe, was like that as well. A few other streets in Dorchester. It's just the grid cannot take all that power draw and heat at the same time. These things only can hold so much and cool off so fast, you know. Just want to show you what's going on. They got that street blocked off for obvious reasons, because you couldn't get through here if you tried. Unless you're on a bike or a scooter or something, that's probably something different. Still got to be careful because you could eventually hit something, or something could hit you. So if you came up that side street that that car came out of earlier that I was showing you, you could potentially end up over here, coming out this side street here, but you only make a left, going out to Washington Street. Pretty good size generator. That water smells horrible. And I don't know what the final temperature is now. I heard we were like 98, 99 degrees. They say it may reach up to 112. I don't know what the temperature is right now. I don't know if I can even check right now either. It's hard enough to cook an egg on the hood, that's for sure. A few cars, they understand that how to do that little bypass. If you're not from the city, you probably won't know. You just make a U-turn and go the other way. But if you lived in the city long enough, you know how to make that little loop around. What is the outdoor temperature in the city of Boston?
The current temperature in Boston is around 88 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 41 degrees Celsius. However, due to high humidity, it feels hotter, over 90 degrees Fahrenheit or 32 degrees Celsius, especially downtown. Forecasters predict it could peak near 98 degrees Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius.
They're saying it's only 89. I think it's hotter than 89. What they're saying with the humidity, it makes it feel like it's 90. So yeah, that's possible. The humidity makes it hotter. A lot of work to be done. They'll be out here probably the whole day, maybe a little bit of tomorrow too. We'll see. Give me a head up out of here. Head up to my next destination. So if your power went out, like let's say, I think it was like around 3 o'clock, 3:30, 3:40, somewhere around there. And that caused the wow, he's on the sidewalk. You gotta be careful. That might cause that that might be the cause of your power being out right here. If you're on the street. Now, if you're not in this neighborhood, something else might have happened that we're not even aware of. And no one too, I noticed, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. There's no one from the city of Boston that comes out and oversees any of these projects that go on in the city of Boston. So this is just my opinion. If you have someone doing work in your city, you at least want to make sure it's being done the right way or be aware of what's going on. Because if there's no one from the city of Boston coming out and checking on things, how would you know what's going on? How you doing?
I got a question for you.
What's the question?
Videotaping us?
Yeah.
What's the reason for it?
News and advertisement purposes. So a lot of people watch the news, right? They want to be aware of what's going on in their community. So sometimes they don't get the news. So I am technically the news. So you don't understand the news?
But I mean, are we doing something wrong that you have to advertise it?
You don't have to be doing that wrong. So you think something's going on
No,
wrong?
it's not something wrong. But if we're working, right?
Right.
Sometimes maybe we might miss something or whatever. You putting it out there,
right?
Bring us in jeopardy.
So I'm gonna correct you on that. If you're doing something wrong, it means you guys should have better training.
No, not something wrong, but because of the hot weather and stuff like that. It's like, for example, he might not have on his glasses because he's sweating, but then you're putting it out there in the social media.
Right.
Because if you're doing a job, right? You wouldn't want somebody videotaping you.
I don't care if they videotape me while I'm doing my job. I'm gonna do the best my best ability doing my job.
And the thing about it is,
right?
This is a hot weather, so little things like this is distractions to our job site.
It's not a distraction.
And then when
the First Amendment cannot be a distraction. Just so you know.
It's a distraction.
No, it's not.
It is.
So by somebody looking out their window is gonna distract you?
No, but you're walking around the job site with a video camera. So
I'm on the sidewalk, my man.
That's a distraction.
It's a distraction.
So guess what I'm gonna do? When the cops come, we'll shut down the sidewalk.
Go ahead, shut down the sidewalk. I want you to do that. And then where the elderly people gonna walk? You're an idiot, man. You're a fucking idiot. You say the cops are gonna shut down the sidewalk because the guy recording. I know what? I was gonna leave. I want to see him shut down the sidewalk. People come out with dumb stuff all the time and think people are stupid. So he's telling me me being over here is distracting them from doing their job over there. Now, if that is true, then they shouldn't be in that field. And I'm going to call Eversource general manager come Monday and ask him that question. And they got to give their guys better training. If a guy walking down the street, whether he's recording or not, he could be looking. if he's distracting you, then you shouldn't be doing that kind of job. Now, if you don't have your safety goggles on, that's just your problem. And the thing about it too, I'm not gonna say their name. A person told me this. He said he's glad that I'm doing this because they're supposed to put the safety equipment on. They're supposed to be doing it the right way. This guy works for OSHA, and he says that what I'm doing is a great job because it shows what they should be doing, and that they need better training if they're not doing it. So I'm gonna reach out to him as well and find out, like, is this a distraction? And matter of fact, OSHA encourages documentation of job site security. So he can try all that he wants, you know. I mean, people think you're going to be afraid of them because they say they're going to call the cops. Call the cops and doing something wrong is one thing, but if you're not breaking the law, that's a different thing. And I can see if I was walking on that side of the sidewalk, which is blocked off, but you can't block off this sidewalk. This is the only where pedestrians are allowed to walk back and forward. So he's threatening to block off this sidewalk. And check this out. Even though they have a sidewalk blocked off, this wasn't part of the video, but since they're going to add that in there, and he's not going to get a police detail, by the way, just so you know. There's no police going to fill this detail. They call for that detail many times. No one's taking that detail. And he don't know I know that, but there's nobody taking that detail. So this part of the sidewalk, well, it was blocked off. They moved the cones, so it's not blocked off now, but technically this part is supposed to be blocked off, so you don't want pedestrians walking in that area there because that could be a hazard. And the funny thing about it, and I can say this because I'm a black person, black people need to be re-educated in a lot of things. It's not that white people are not educated, but most white people would be more respectful of your, how do you say it, of your rights. At least the ones I come across anyway. Now, the black people that I come across seem to be more ignorant about it. Even though you explain to them what you're doing, they seem to think that you can't do it because you're black. Now, that's my opinion. I can say that because that's how I feel. And it happened many more times than before, where the other guy that asked me, he said some people don't feel comfortable, but he didn't give me a long debate about it. This guy here tells me you can't do it, he's gonna call the cops, people getting distracted, make them uncomfortable doing their job, all this song and dance. If you're uncomfortable doing your job, then find another sector. Work inside the office, answer telephones. I don't know what to tell you. If I'm doing my job and I'm doing it the right way, I don't care if somebody offends me or not. Because even if I make a mistake, right? I can go back in that video and see where I made a mistake and probably learn from that. Now, for example, Kyle Taylor. If Kyle Taylor was out here, right? He could be screaming, yelling, and cursing. Now, that could be more of a distraction because you're making noise and yelling and screaming. But a person silently recording could never be a distraction unless I'm like right up in their face, right in the middle of them, like blocking their movement. And you got to remember the First Amendment is still based off of time, place, and manner. What's going on? You good? So my time is good as daylight. My place is good. I'm on a city sidewalk. My manner is good because I'm being quiet. I'm only narrating to the camera. So the time, place, and manner is in a good state of law. Now, if I was in the middle of the street and I was right over the manhole, the place would be in the wrong place. And the manner could be wrong because I'm in a safety, how you say it, a work zone. So, I mean, I don't know. And I'm going to send this to a few of my people that watch my videos, and they're going to give me comments and tell me what they think. And A lot of them going to tell me I should have told the guy to F off and all that good stuff, but I'm not going to do that. But and that's why I do this, to show educational purposes. Now hopefully this guy can learn this lesson. Maybe his supervisor might call him Tuesday morning or Monday morning. I don't know if he's a supervisor or not, but I should ask him that too. Because if he is, that makes it even worse if he is a supervisor. But they see the video, they know, they figure out who he is anyway. So if you block this sidewalk off, right, that means that the pedestrians that need to go back and forth through here won't have no way to go. Now that could be a bigger problem, because now you will only inconvenience the citizens of this street because you want to violate the First Amendment, and that's what's called a First Amendment retaliation, and that's a I think that's a federal crime, to be honest with you. I think that is. I think that's covered under U.S. 1983 laws. I believe that is. I have to look it up. I believe that's covered under U.S. Yeah, it has to be under one of those. It's a federal law. It's not even a state statute. Well, it is a state statute under it too, but that's a federal law under the U.S. Constitution. Nevertheless, guys, I'm gonna head up out of here because I do got somewhere I'm supposed to be at. Now this guy's in an unsafe area. Now, if anything, they should have stopped him from going between those trucks. That's why I video stuff like that, because he's walking between the trucks too. Wow. See, something like that you shouldn't have. And that's why I do videos rather than clips, because the video gives you more. It gives you more perspective of what took place. If I did a 30-second clip of me and him arguing, you would never know what was the basis of us arguing about. What's going on, my man? How you doing? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My man over there. But if I did a 30-second clip, all you would see is just me and him debating about the First Amendment. You would never see the foundation of how it got started and what created it. What created it was the power outage. The power outage caused it from yesterday. I came down here to document what's going on today. I guess they had a problem with me documenting it, and then, which I guess they don't like the news, because the news is good or bad. News is informational, and no one selects the news but the people who want to watch it. So if I don't like sports, I don't watch the sports. If I don't like the obituaries, I don't read the obituaries. But the thing is, you kind of pick the news. No, you go ahead, do your thing. Do your thing. The news is broad range. There's entertainment part of the news. There's singing. There's so much different avenues of the news that you could pick from. So some people only think it's just violence and mayhem, which tends to be the highlights of the news. But the news is what you want to see and what you're geared to watching. I just happened to come out here and document the Clean Harbors and Eversource working on a transformer incident. And I'm heading up out of here anyway, but I'm not going to hang around, because I know there's no police officer going to show up. And if they did, they would have been here by now. And if I didn't have to do, I'll wait there for several hours and see what happens. Because I can almost guarantee they're not going to close the sidewalk for a guy recording with a camera. That would be that wouldn't be too, how do you say it? That wouldn't be wise. Put it that way. It wouldn't be too wise. Nevertheless, that's what we have. I'm gonna head up out of here. Like I said, I am, and I'm gonna head off to my next destination. The ACs are cranked up. Everything is running full blast. Power grid is it's at a crunch. I mean, the power grid is struggling to stay afloat right now. I don't know what's the solution to that, if there is a solution. That car's kind of hesitating, not know which way to go. A lot of people get confused when they get to this blockage right here. They don't, at this point, they're like, well, because they're so used to taking this road, and all of a sudden when that road is not there, able to use, it's like, now what do I do? Like, what's my alternative route? Because either I go back the way I came, or go around to Columbus, take Dimmick around that way, or I could take Cedar back around that way, or I can take that side road. Other than that, I don't know. Like I said, they'll be out here for quite a while. That's before I leave. Let me get an image of this sign over here. June 20th. That's all old though. It was a yard sale. I think that's old too. So those are old messages. Sometimes if I see a message, I always like to put it on my thing so I can remind myself later on. All right, guys, I'm headed up out of here. Get some AC, drink some water, and go from there. Catch you guys in the next one. We're at Richie and Marcella right there. That's where we're at. Right in Roxbury. All right, guys, catch you on the next one.